What's up, college football fans, quarterback fans? Welcome to another QB Spotlight video. And today we're talking about Texas A&M quarterback Conner Weigman. We're going to discuss what the expectations are for 2023, right? What should realistic expectations be for Weigman entering the 2023 season? And we'll touch on this, the Aggies in general, broadly, because I think a lot of how A&M will do this year hinges on the play of Conner Weigman. And I know there's still an open competition, right? I know he's still competing with Max Johnson. I don't believe he's been named the starter, but we're going to go ahead and just talk about Weigman for the sake of the video and what the expectations should be. So, number one, I think there are two kind of expectations that if you are an A&M fan, you could be cautiously optimistic about. That's one, the completion percentage going up next year, or going up this year, being a bit more accurate, right? He was at 55% or so last year, so I think you want that to be over 60%. If he's in the low 60s, I think that's a pretty realistic expectation for Weigman to have, right? So let's just assume he gets in the low 60s. Number two, his yards per attempt were 6.8 last year, and that's he was a freshman, didn't take a lot of deep shots. But in Jimbo's offense in general, a lot of times the deep shots weren't there consistently. So with Petrino coming in, and that's still a whole different storyline in itself of how that's going to mesh and happen. But with Petrino coming in, if you're an optimistic Aggie, an optimistic A&M fan, then you would hope, okay, those expectations for Weigman to have a higher yards per attempt are going to go up because Petrino's going to influence the offense, and maybe Jimbo's going to take some more shots downfield a bit more often, right? So if his yards per attempt are up from, 6.8 to high 7s, if he can break 8, that would be great, especially in today's day and age of college football. But if his completion percentage goes up and his yards per attempt goes up, then that probably tells us the offense is opening up a bit more and they're taking some more shots downfield. And I think if Weigman's able to do that, and he's able to complete the ball at a higher level and push the ball downfield at a more consistent level, that probably tells us A&M's probably having more success in offense. Now, Weigman did play well last year, though. I don't want to assume I don't want it to sound like we're just talking about the stats that weren't great last year. I thought Weigman played well last year. He took care of the football. They were in the chance to win basically every game, right? When he got put against South Carolina, they almost won that. They almost beat Ole Miss, where he played fantastic, had 4 touchdowns, threw for over 300 yards, right? And then whenever he played, I think was it Auburn he played poorly against, and they almost won. They lost like 13-10. I believe it's Auburn, don't quote me. But still, they were close enough to almost win. And then, of course, they beat LSU, and then he beat UMass as well as the starting quarterback. So there's a lot of things he did good last year, like a lot of things he did well last year, and taking care of the football was one of them. So I expect that to continue. Now, he's probably not going to have 0 interceptions this year like he did last year, but I do expect him to continue to take care of the ball, even with the yards per attempt going up and even with the completion percentage going up. If all that improves, right, if those areas improve, I say all that, if those two areas improve, completion percentage and yards per attempt, then that means the Aggies' offense will be vastly improved. I think they'll be in a position to have a year that they wanted to have last year that they didn't, right? I think a lot of this hinges on week 2. So the expectations of Conner Weigman playing well and improving these areas, I think, largely hinge on week 2 when they play Miami. If they beat Miami, I think they have a realistic shot to be 5-0 before Bama comes into town, right? That would be a huge win to beat Miami, because you got Miami, you got Arkansas, but it's at a neutral site, and I have a lot of Arkansas followers that follow the channel, so I apologize, but A&M's owned Arkansas as of late, right? And then you have Auburn at home, which will be a tough one, but definitely a winnable game. And then you have Alabama rolling to town. So I think if you can beat Miami, you get some momentum, and then you can hopefully beat these 2 SEC schools that are going to be pretty good this year and very tough. I'm not saying that you're going to gloss over these. It's going to be very tough outs, but if you can beat Miami, you get some momentum rolling into these games. Then you have Bama coming in at 5-0, right? Or you're 5-0 with Bama coming in. If you lose to Miami, you could still go 4-1's not bad by any means. You could lose, but winning against Miami is I think a priority, because then if you drop to Auburn or drop to Arkansas, you're at least 4-1, right? So again, I think a lot hinges on week 2. It should be exciting. But with Conner Weigman, improve your completion percentage, improve your yards per attempt. The offense is probably going to be improved if you do those things. And I think the expectations are Weigman can be a good quarterback in the SEC. There's a lot of unknown quarterbacks in the SEC, a lot of turnover right now, right? We've talked about this in the videos before with the guys coming back. So I think Weigman, if he takes these steps forward, it's a realistic expectation for him to be in the top half of quarterbacks in the SEC if these expectations are met, right? Now you have a whole other argument saying, oops, sorry, I hit the microphone. You have a whole other argument talking about, Jimbo's offense and him and Petrino are going to clash. Who knows? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I think realistic expectations of Weigman are to be one of the top half quarterbacks in the SEC, especially with the talent that he has around him, and what they have, expected of the players around him ending 2023. But Aggies and just college football fans in general, what are your thoughts on Conner Weigman? Let us know in the comments below your expectations. What should the expectations do? Do you think there should be other expectations involved? Again, I think these are realistic, positive expectations that aren't too high, but they're not something that's something that's low to the ceiling, if that makes, or low to the ground, if that makes sense. I think it's realistic expectations that Weigman could be done. So let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are on Weigman. Let us know if you like this video. All that YouTube stuff, like, subscribe. That does help the channel, and we'll keep putting out this quarterback content. Again, we have a podcast comes out once or twice a week where we have current college quarterbacks and current college coaches on talking about the quarterback position. Then of course we have all these quarterback content videos coming out talking about quarterbacks at these schools. So again, like the video, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. We'll see you next time. Peace.